Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic is after an all-European war starts, what are your plans now? How's everybody doing there? Let me go over here and to the comments and see who all's in here. Make sure I said hi to everybody already. Diana was the first one in here, followed by Phelan Clan Wolf, then Crew 1351. Next was Geeky Gardens and Little Lone Prepper, Chef Tech, and okay, we got a bunch of lurkers. Up here in the corner up here, I got 15 up there, so 14. And here's Mark to join me.
Hello.
Hello. All right. This one was put in as a recommended one about 9 months ago.
By who, Mike?
Huh? Not
by Mike? From
about 9 months ago. I think it was Mike. Not Mike. Allen. World Prepper. Or World Survival. Sorry, World Survivalist. I think he was the one that suggested it. Anyways, yesterday, this took 2 giant leaps closer to actually happening. And I will go over that here in a second because I skipped the normal fear porn Kool-Aid drinking stuff because of what happened yesterday.
Because it's really happening.
No, it's not really happening.
It's getting closer to happening.
Let me bring something up here that all right, it's been 11 and a half hours ago since this was published. And boom. So the one in the middle here, where it says 3 seconds ago, I watched it yesterday. J.D. Vance inside a closed NATO meeting, and it's been getting leaked out by everyone scrambling to cover their butts. Pulled the rug out from under NATO.
Basically said, "Hey, fuck you. You're on your own."
No. Not yet. He said, Here's the interesting part. He listed off, he said, all right, so many of these, and so I will drop this link here in a little bit. What he was addressing is like, okay, and he stopped and he looked at several. Joe's here, Garden State Gardener.
What's up, Joe?
And KG5 DGO is here from Oklahoma, and Kalen Strain's here. All right, so what he did is, so he was saying, hey, things are going to change, and he looked directly at several of the representatives who have not been paying the 2% gross national product fee to NATO, and he goes, starting immediately, you guys have to ramp it. It's now 3%. It's no longer 2%. It's 3%. And if you don't pay it or start paying it in 18 months, we're going to throttle back your intelligence. And in 36 months, if everybody's not paying it, and you guys aren't stepping up to do your shit, bye. So they got 36 months to pull their heads out of their ass and start doing what they're supposed to be doing. Otherwise, it's going to be bye, or we're just going to start shutting down all the intel and the other stuff and say, hey, yeah, we got our intel. You guys got to get your own intel now, which is just, some of the defense ministers were scrambling. From the reports from other sources that this guy tapped into, And yeah, they're in a complete panic mode over there. And that witch there
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
jacket,
that's an EU backdrop. That is the EU backdrop. That is not, well, yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
But her, she's the same one over there in Brussels that tried to fine Musk $200 million, and he said "F you" and turned off X and Starlink for all of Europe.
Mm.
Yeah, that's so yeah. They haven't learned their lesson. It's like, okay, you got a businessman who said "F you," we're turning you off. Now you got the vice president saying the president says "F you." You guys got to start doing your fair stuff, or we're going to turn you off.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Russia, silence.
Well, Russia is not part of the EU and NATO. So
No. But Russia was silent. And some of the analysts are saying, oh, they're going whole hog. They're gearing up all their intel stuff because they want to get stuff set up. So if any of these countries start to try to stand up their own, they're ready for it. But yeah, so basically, there's already been accusations flying between members that have NATO members that have been paying what they're supposed to be paying against those that haven't been paying at all, or those that have been paying only 1% instead of 2%. Yeah, they're slapping at each other right now already. It's already started as a little girly fight, and it's going to turn to fists here in a little bit probably.
Well, they're screwed over there anyway because their GDP is now low because their energy was cut off. Yeah. So they're not producing anymore. So they're just doubly screwed at this point.
Yeah. Italy was one of the big ones.
That's why they raised it to 3% because 2% of less than what it used to be is a lot less money. So they made it 3% to bring the money back up, and that's just crushing them.
Well, Italy hasn't been paying it. They're one of the ones that were named. And of course, everyone looking at Italy like, crap.
Yeah, I think he's talking about you.
Like crap. This could put them into bankruptcy default or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there's so basically the umbrella of protection has been unlocked and lowered down a little bit. Like, guys, get your acting in gear and start doing what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah, the guy lays it out and lays it out in the beginning. Like, for 50, 60 years they've been playing on. It's like, America's never going to. It's America's best interest to pick up the tab for us and to do all the stuff for us.
Yeah, it's like, I'll pay you next Tuesday for some NATO today.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to drop. Actually, let me go ahead and I'm going to drop this link in there. And so those that want to watch that, there is the YouTube link to that channel. And you can look at that, and you guys can go watch that afterwards. It's really an eye-opener. Let me get back over here. Which now leads us to this. Backstabbing, infighting that was going on during the 17 and 1800s before those colonial starts across the pond stepped in and saved our ass for the second time. Meaning us saving their ass for the second time. Pardon my language, folks. And now they're like, oh, shit. So what causes of it? Man-made on purpose.
Yeah.
We all know there's a bunch of those possibilities. And then I can't list even a tenth of the possibilities in these.
Yeah. Oops.
Russia crossing the border. Somebody getting pissed at somebody else crossing the border, pulled into someone else into, just stuff like that. Man-made accidental by mistake, some political poofah going on. And also with the problem on this going on as well is the what we talked about Thursday night with that one meme of the lady in Sweden burning the Quran. There are a lot of the countries there in Europe that are getting
pissed
at
their own government,
at the radicals being allowed into their countries, and other countries, and to do what the heck they want and not being made to toe the line. Hang on, what does Joe say here? Yeah, exactly. Or, we deserve it. We need to ride for free.
Yeah, it's not my fault. No, it's not our fault. It's somebody else's fault. So just keep giving us what we want.
Yeah. It's more like about 3 months now. It used to be years. Now it's more along the lines of 3 months.
Yeah, or yesterday. Depends on what you're talking about.
Oh, we got this conspiracy theory. Oh, wait a minute. It was already proven true last week.
A lot of stuff. That's happening with a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, and then nature caused, weather,
tidal wave,
earthquakes, other thing, weather for extremely cold, and they needing heating oil and stuff, and they're getting pissed at their neighbors who aren't selling oil to them, or because they have such an interconnected or intercountry electrical grid there, where the power plant for one country is sitting in another country, because they're the ones with the nuclear power plant, and so they're buying electricity from them. Yeah.
Wait, I thought they had solar and windmills.
Oh, that's only Holland.
Oh, they have wind. They've always had windmills, but
boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But yeah, there's nature causing things, flooding, freezing, heat, the perfect weather temperature for blight and other plant diseases to flourish. Can cause all sorts of problems. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlight just rolled in. Hey, Daniel. And so the possibility of this has really stepped up in my mind a lot more than it was last year. I mean, I should say stepped up, jumped up, and moving forward, unless the EU leadership pull their heads out of their butts and say, okay, yeah, we need to pay up. Now, the U.S. is not demanding back payment from these countries, which they should, but they're not just, hey, you need to start paying this going forward. Yeah. So the Vance in his talk was being nice to them, saying, hey, we're not going to make you pay what you owe us from the last 10, 15 years. Which, in every right they could, but they know that's going to be, that might put a few of them underwater.
I think they should pay us what they owe us.
Yeah. And Moon Over Miami just rolled in. That may come later. But first they want them just get them paying what they owe
current
now.
Yeah.
And if once everybody's paying what they owe now, that's like, okay, now you owe us 0.5% or 0.25% to pay off what of your debt, and just start paying that. We're not charging interest. You just need to start paying off the debt.
We should charge interest.
That would definitely sink them, especially if we charge interest like our credit cards.
Yeah, 22%.
Yeah.
And if you make 3 good payments in a row, we'll lower it down to 19.5.
Yeah. So there are a lot of, if you want to understand the possibility for an all Europe war, you gotta stop looking at mainstream media and go to some history channels and look at some of their reports and stuff on what and look into the political field between, interplay between the different countries and stuff. They all don't get along. And Tammy Harder just came in. Hey, Tammy.
Yeah,
rare minerals. Yes, some countries have them, some countries don't. And yeah, you got the other rare minerals tossed in there too. But yes, it's, Europe has always been at each other's throat at one time or another. The 100-Year War, Napoleon, Spain's crap, trying to take over the seas and and dominate the trade routes and the land wars for trade routes to the east, the Far East, and everything. There's always I don't think they've had 75 years of peace ever. Of unity. Maybe when they were fighting the Roman Empire, maybe, but even then, the Franks were traitors. At one point, Franks were traitors. At one point, and they go, okay, yeah, we're going to switch sides now, and we're going to go be against the Roman Empire. But yeah, there's always been fighting over there forever. So in modern times, is it too hard? Is it too hard to comprehend the possibility of them having another, war between countries? Somebody does something to piss somebody else off, and they have a little skirmish, and somebody goes, "Oh, well, we're gonna up you one more in this skirmish," and it just escalates to an actual, war between countries. And of course, there's treaties.
I think we got more likely event of civil unrest.
Yeah, but so you have treaties between countries, and some countries will have treaties with the same one country A, but country A is in conflict with country B, and some of these countries still have treaties with country B as well, but there are other ones that only have treaties with country A, and others have only treaties with country B.
And that's where you get the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, okay, if we come in and help you, what do we get out of it?
Mm-hmm. We want your rare earth minerals.
or
50%
we want
of them.
Or we want more of equal trade, balance and stuff. So there are a lot of possibilities that could cause an all-European war. It's not going to pop overnight. Heck, World War I was probably one of the quickest ones to kick off, and it took months to kick off. And then once it started, and then months later, another one joined in, and other countries started getting dragged into it as it grew. World War II took years to get everybody involved. So all total European wars are slow rollers usually. So it's not going to be it's not going to be like, oh, Japan sunk our battleship. Okay, we're throwing the board against the wall and we're going to nuke them. It's like, it's not full steam ahead and we're again, so the Japan declared war on us by attacking us. We're declaring war on them, Germany and Italy. We're and it's instantly we're against everyone else. So Yeah, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be like the way Europe slow rolled into it. So yeah, there is a slight, sorry, a greater than previously set chance of somebody screwing up and causing a war over there. All right, so we've talked about the possibility. How is that going to affect us? And how can we mitigate something like that? Well, one, in my mind, all right, this is my mind. You guys can start putting up ideas of your own. But first thing in my mind is going to be, okay, tourism's going to may wind up cutting back really quick.
Cutting back and in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to want to go.
Yeah, even in countries that aren't involved, it's going to pull back. But so change your plans where you're going to be going for vacations. Gee, I'm thinking about buying a BMW. Are parts always going to be available for it if a war kicks off over there? You know, so
crap, you don't even need a war to kick off for parts not to be available for that right now. Sorry. You got a Beamer, you might want to trade it in for a Toyota at this point.
This is meant as humor, so I'm not trying to tick anybody off. Or trade it in for a Tesla.
No.
You have better chance of getting parts for a Tesla than you do for a BMW half the time. A friend of mine who was a mechanic.
You can't fix you can't fix your own Tesla. You're not allowed to.
No, but you can take it to the dealership and get them to fix it.
Sure, for $1 million.
Yeah. All right. So a friend of mine was a mechanic, and he had a Mercedes.
Oof. Sorry, dude.
A Mercedes wagon.
Oh, nice car. That's what my brother-in-law has.
And after a year and a half, he got rid of it because he did his old oil changes and stuff. And he said the prices for the filters, and when he had to do a transmission service on it, he was like, "Holy crap!"
$4,000 for a trans service. You might as well buy a new transmission.
And so he just said, he just sold it.
Yeah,
he didn't even do the transmission service on it. He just sold it to get rid of it. And he bought a Toyota Avalon. Exactly, Kaylin. Trade will be impacted. Yeah, I think is going to be a trigger, not so much as people versus their government, people putting pressure on their governments to have their governments put pressure on other governments to join the stop the mass migration movement that's going on over there. There are some countries that are saying, no, and they're cutting them off. And pretty soon they're going to be having their nice agents out there going after the illegals a lot more harder. You notice I said nice agents. They're National Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Oh, I saw a Twitter post. Was it Twitter post? Or was it an expo? Anyway, it was a post. Somebody was posting that and stuff, and Trump actually responded to it. That sounds like a great idea. I'll look into it.
Oh, on Truth? He did that on Truth.
Yeah, he said it on Truth, but it went off on the others and was showing up everywhere else. I mean, yeah. Anyways, back to Europe. Let's see, trade will be impacted. Tourism has already gone through the floor. Yeah. Well, that's over here in the U.S., but I'm talking over in Europe. Yeah. Even Europeans coming to Disneyland, Disney World, New York City. Yeah. They're avoiding New York City like the plague.
I used to live right there. I won't go back.
Yeah. I want a square body 90s truck.
Yep, that's what I want.
I
F-150.
want a 70s or late 60s. You know,
Yeah,
no
I'll take a 90s.
no smog at all on it. You know, one of the
Dude, you can literally, for me, a 90s, which I have one now anyway. I don't have to go through emissions for it. Not in my state.
yeah,
There's
well,
no emissions, so I could literally rip the catalytic converter out, put a faker on the O2 sensor, and call it a day.
yeah, but there's as far as that trucks and stuff go, yeah, I want to get like a 65 Dodge Power Wagon. This was back when it was a 300, not a 3500. The 300 with a manual transmission with the 5-speed, and then the 3-speed Brownie plus the high-low transfer case. Yeah, I want one of those. Yeah. Crew cab, I can haul all the grandkids in it with me and the wife. And the seats in that thing, you could sit 4 adults across in it. This was pre-seatbelt. You could sit 4 adults across in it. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, Kalen says Trump is active on X also. He probably posts the truth and it automatically goes to the other ones.
Yeah, he doesn't actually post on X, but he has his, I think somebody does for him. It's his account,
Yeah.
but it's not actually his post because he wasn't posting there for the longest time.
Yeah. Yeah.
70s Datsun wagon with a driver. Oh, that's right. Galen.
Yeah, I had a not a crew cab. I just had a regular cab. 65 Dodge was an old East Bay Municipal Utility District truck. It was 1965. I bought it from a friend of my dad's who had added 2 55-gallon saddle tanks on it besides this tank behind the seat. When I worked on the engine on that thing, I could open it up, crawl inside, close the engine, the hood almost all the way closed, and have plenty of room to work inside.
Yeah, you could pull the heads and do everything under the hood.
Oh yeah,
I
changed voltage. I fixed the electrical system on it in the rain under the hood. I changed out the spark plugs one time, and the points, and did all that one time. Yeah. But my wife didn't like it, and we got rid of it. She said we needed something else instead. But yeah. Anyways, back to Europe. Well, actually, that's some of the stuff there you consider getting. Instead of getting some of these new expensive things from Europe, go classic American. Get the older.
Did you see some of the these little mini vehicles coming over they're allowing in from China now? They're like, it's a little itty bitty, it's like a work body, like a what they call a forward cab. And yeah, they're like base nothing. There's like no air conditioning. Whatever heat you get is from under the seat, because you're sitting on the engine.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like no anything, manual windows. The rear bed area is like just flip down walls and flip down tailgate, and it's all yeah, and they're cheap. And it's only got what is it? It's like a 22 horse engine in it, but it's just for work. It's not for going on a cruise across the country. Although I watched one guy he built a custom fiberglass camper, like cab over camper on the back of this thing. And he said, aside from the fuel economy went down drastically because you're pushing a brick. And he's like, it's great. It doesn't ride the best because it's not meant for comfort, whatever. And they're easy to fix. Everything is like real simple. I mean, they're going back to basics on no airbags. Sorry, no airbags.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Toyota has one of those that they're trying to get to be allowed into the United States. Same type thing.
Yeah, this one's made by not Hyundai, but some Chinese company. But yeah,
Yeah.
Or a Korean company. Maybe it's Korean. I think it's a Korean.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're little tiny ones. Those are the ones they use in the big cities in the Far East.
Yeah,
Because they're
but
narrow, they can get up
we
and down
will.
the alleyways.
Yeah,
They can haul like, 1,000 pounds of stuff.
yeah.
You don't
We
get the
will
best
never see
economy,
the
but
ones
you can
from
fit.
Italy. We will never see the ones from Italy,
What
Germany,
the,
or dang, I can't
France,
remember the country. There's another country that makes those as well too, but we'll never see them because of the German chicken fiasco.
German chicken. What?
That caused they started we were sending chicken over there really cheap, and they threw
Oh,
big tariffs on it, and so was it Johnson? I think it was Johnson threw tariffs back, and basically that's what screwed up the regulations on all pickups and stuff. Why all of a sudden the 100, 200, and 300s went away, and it's now 150s, 250s, and 350s for 3,500. Like that.
Yeah.
Because everything changed on that to, you want to bring them in, yeah, it's going to be big, huge tariffs, and so that's when we don't get those, and that's screwed. That's a whole nother story, but that's a European thing affecting us anyway. So no telling what might come out of a European war.
There's no company in this country that'll do a startup because too many regulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's car is the newest. It's what year's your car? 2014, so it's 12 years old.
Yeah.
That's our newest. The next is the Ranger. That's a 98, and the Sable's a 99.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I got to start that tomorrow because it's got the left front tire keeps going flat, so I got to put air in it and drive it. That'd be nice.
And my wife. All right, I'm just gonna. In the entire time we've been together, she bought a brand new Sienna back when we had our first kid in '92. When Megan started having kids, she gave it to Megan, and her mom gave her Buick because her mom wanted something smaller than the big boat Buick she had, and she got a RAV4. But the Buick, which was already several years old at the time in '92, or no, 2002 and stuff. But anyway, so it basically, so they were passing down cars and stuff around. So, but in December 24, she bought a brand new Honda Pilot, and she said, "This is the last new vehicle I'm ever going to buy," because the expense of repairing the Buick was climbing so high insanely, and she didn't want to go back to a 70s or late 60s car. Some of those are really nice, sweet cars, though.
Yeah.
But she likes some of her amenities like power locks and air conditioning and
right. I don't know. I don't have power locks. It's a stick shift with manual everything in the Ranger. I don't care. Less to break.
Hey, if your husband can, he can teach you how to do it. You can learn how to do stuff, do the points and the spark plugs and stuff. It's not that hard. My sister used to do that on her vehicles until they got the newer ones. And she worked my sister was a salesman for Ford dealerships for a number of years. And she used to do her own service.
Yeah, my one daughter is going to go help out with a friend of hers he's putting I think it's like a 84 Mustang V8, the 302 or 5-liter of that into a 68, not the Mustang, the Cougar. for somebody. And she's like, I'm going to help. My wife's like, why? She's like, because I want to learn. I'm like, fucking A, go for it.
Yeah. So the the reach of a all European war will affect markets around the world. And yeah. So, I mean, it'll affect, the market, the Japan, South Korea, North Korea. I don't know who buys stuff from North Korea. There might be some European countries that do. China will affect over in China, the Indonesian countries, that deal with Europe. It's going to affect them. And, there's going to be, problems that way too. But as far as it affecting us, if we plan, if we look for the signs and we see crap starting to happen, that's the time to start dialing back what we're purchasing from over there, unless we absolutely need it. I don't know about you, but I don't need a Rolex from Europe. No, I don't.
Well, if somebody gave it to you for free, then sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, they're going to give it. Someone's going to give it to me for free, but I'm not going to buy it. There are a couple of QPUs that Benelli and a couple others from over there that I would like to get my hands on, but it's not going to break my heart if I can't get one. I still, I haven't bought one yet. It's on my wish list. I just haven't bought it yet. But I got other things that are above it on my wish list of things I need to get.
Okay, I wish somebody would just give me one.
Yeah. Okay, my cousin. Oh, what? Okay, my cousin who was a fighter jet mechanic repaired her family's starting early. Yeah, exactly. I was in my 20s and even into my 30s, my dad had a Ford Ranchero, and every 5 years or so, because he would go to the junkyard and get a used transmission rather than buying a new manual transmission. And we'd go out there and we would drop it, open it up, look at it, open it up, look inside. Oh, we can fix this, fix it, put it back in. Next time, okay, nope, we can't fix this one now. Time to go get another used one.
Go get another one. Throw that one in the corner. We might need it for parts later. You probably had 20 of them laying around.
Oh, well, actually, there were 3 of them out there in the barn. So
in various states of damage, yeah.
Yeah. And once in a while, it's like, wait a minute, we got this part broke here, but we got that part on that one still good. And yeah, we spent a couple days swapping parts out.
Hey, when I was 16, me and a friend of mine pulled my my grandfather. Well, we donated my grandfather's '65 Fairlane wagon to the Boy Scout camp. They used it for running milk up and down the hill because it was like a 3-mile bad road. Didn't care about it, but the engine still ran. And when the ranger's like, yeah, you want it back? My dad's like, yeah, we'll take it. So we went up there, me and my buddy, we pulled the engine out on camp in his shop, loaded the engine and transmission in the back of the wagon, and freewheeled it down the hill, popping wheelies everywhere, and got it down the bottom, towed it home. We took that V8, had it rebuilt, and we stuck it in a Pinto. I drove that thing for 7-8 years. I put a lot of miles on it. Never took it to the track. It was just too fast. It was fast, but it was great. I could tow things with it. It was even better.
I knew someone back in 77 took a Ford Pinto, pulled the engine out of it, dropped a Police Interceptor 429 in it.
Yeah, that's not a drop in. That's a lot of suspension work there. That's why we went to 289. I only had to upgrade my springs to the Mustang 2, which was the same exact car with the V8. We just put V8 coil springs in the front. That was it. And changed the rear out, that little tiny 7-inch spider rear. I blew that thing up in about a week.
Yeah. But yeah, that was funny watching the a Pinto smoke the tires for an entire block.
Oh, yeah. Problem with mine was it was so light. It pissed me off. I couldn't smoke the tires. It just went. The car didn't weigh enough. It just, as soon as I hit the gas, it just went. So there was no burnouts. The only time I could do a burnout is if I got on like a
Yeah.
patch of wet leaves or something. Then I could do a nice long burnout.
Yeah. The torque didn't the torque didn't override the weight enough.
It didn't. I mean, it would lift the front end up a little bit, not off the ground. I mean, I had to put not sway bars, traction bars on it to keep the axle from twisting on the leaf springs. But no, it was a fun car. A lot of memories in it.
One of my friends on Facebook, Aaron Blank, and it's a girl, ERIN Blank. She and her husband they race older cars,
right?
Drag strip and stuff. She's always posting stuff and sending me direct messengers on stuff on some of the stuff she has. She finds, what you would spend on a new pickup, you can get an older one rebuilt, carried out, and done up, but you can't finance it. No. That's the problem. You can't finance it unless you're going to take out a.
Bank doesn't want it. Yeah, personal loan.
Yeah, unless you're going to take out a
home equity line.
It's sort of like a home equity line, but it's got a specific name on it. And anyways, my wife pulled one out when we re-roofed the house in California for it. And
just a line of equity. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was it was a, you got to shop around on different types of line. It was my wife's an accountant. Yeah, she went and got the best deal possible, and it's a specific type that has a floating interest rate,
right?
And she waited until interest rates dropped to lock it in, because it was going up and down. When it went down, then she locked it in and pulled more money out. But it was a I can't think of what it's called now.
It was a line of credit based on your house. It's a
but it was a specific type. But anyways, so there were some of the ones in there that she posted, that Aaron posted, that had some European oldies, some old Volvos and some old BMWs and old Mercedes, and some of the old Mercedes trucks look kind of cool. That stuff's going to go away if there's an all-Europe war.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even afterwards, you may find a lot of those are no longer in existence. Yeah, from what depending on which countries are involved and how because there could be an all-European war, and Spain has absolutely no battle going on their soil, but they've got troops everywhere, type thing. Same thing with Britain. They could have troops invested in it, but they're not fighting on their land. They're fighting on someone else's land, but everybody in Europe is fighting. And Prepper for the Ages is here. Hey, Jill. But so an all-Europe war is now, because of what the Trump administration has slapped the NATO members, saying, hey, you guys need to start paying your fair share. And by the way, that fair share has gone up from 2% to 3%. You need to start paying that, or we're going to cut off your military intelligence. We're going to cut this. We're going to cut that. And if everyone's still screwing around, we just may withdraw. And it's one of those. It scared the crap out of every defense minister in Europe. They all needed to change their drawers when they left the room. Oh, that's one of the things too. It just may be, okay, we're gonna strip them all bare and bye. And countries do not want that. There'll be countries that will negotiate specifically to keep the bases there. They'll negotiate separate treaties from from NATO to keep bases in their countries because they know what money that brings into their country through, the military there buying local food, buying, stuff, spending stuff locally, guys on leave being able to go into town and spend money there. Yeah, they know what it brings in. And so most of the countries will try to working around to get military bases to stay there. And but that was one of the things they were also that Vance was talking about. Hey, we may draw them down to minimal staffing. That alone scared a lot of the countries, because that's a big cut. Military spending all of a sudden goes from here down to here. By America in their country, it's like, oh shit, that hurts. Yeah, exactly. And that's why they, individual countries, it may not be a NATO treaty. It may be an individual country with a treaty with Germany, Spain, Italy, wherever. It may be individual country treaties instead of a NATO treaty. But yeah, so there could be a lot of fallout in a lot of different areas. Right now, France is actually the most. France has the most advanced army in Europe, better than Germany right now, larger and better than Germany. And all of a sudden, they have made some friendly overtures after being little pissy girls with over the Iran, the military jets going to there saying, oh no, we don't want you landing here for that operation. Now they're being, oh, you can land here. They did an about face on that one. But yeah, there is a lot of information out there. That link I dropped up earlier before, I'm going to drop it, see if I can drop it again here. Yeah, there it is. That's the one I watched yesterday. It's now been 12 and a half hours since that was posted. And I also watched several other ones as well on videos on it and checked some news things on it. And yeah, they're nervous over there. Everyone's nervous about the U.S. Going ahead and pulling out of NATO. But yeah, there's a lot of nervousness, and there innuendos being thrown between countries, pointing the finger. It's your fault. You're not paying. We're paying our 2%. You're not paying at all. Blah. And there are tensions over there over the statement that Vance made there, or the briefing he made to the NATO leaders in private there. Yeah, and that's, if NATO goes, you're going to see the EU really take a hit as far as its authoritarianism. And especially since some people afterwards were pointing fingers at what's her name, the head of the one that sits there and the head of the EU there, that's been pushing was pushing to find X, to find Google, to find Facebook, and to take control over their editorial policies and stuff, and their policies on what you can post and what you can block and what you can't block. Ursula, I thought it was Van something or other. But anyways, yeah, she's no longer the golden child over there because she got all those fines levied against and payouts from the other companies, and X flipped her off and said, "Screw you, we're shutting down X and Starlink throughout the European Union," and they did. Total withdrawal, totally deleted everyone's accounts over there. Yeah, people were scrambling. They said they had 7 hours to download the stuff from their accounts. Like, because companies were running everything on X, had all their customer bases were doing sales and marketing and stuff. They had to get everything downloaded, all the emails and stuff and accounts downloaded before it was deleted. And yeah, it was deleted. So she's in hot water anyways. Now she's in more hot water. The payments go to pay for what the U.S. is putting over there. It's to pay for our military expenditure over there, and it's just a drop in the bucket of our military expenditure. If they were to pay their full equal share, it'd be more like closer to 5% of their gross national product. But yeah. But yeah, so there's like I'm saying, it's set up over, it's taken a major step towards the possibility of an all-European war, because they've been dicking around over there so much. The U.S. is getting tired of it, and is say, hey, start paying up or we're withdrawn. And even if we don't withdraw totally, any country that's not paying up is going to get the intelligence feeds cut off. If they're flying American-made jets, they get internet access for the information, so those jets are more useful. That gets cut off, and so yeah, there are tensions building already between certain EU countries over the ones that are paying what they're supposed to be paying, and those that haven't been paying, and pissing us off. So yeah, they've taken a major step towards it. So recovery from it, for us, actually, I personally think, after looking at what some of the economists have been saying for the last several years about the problems in Europe and stuff. Anyways, if an all-European war starts over there and we're withdrawn from it, we're going to be better off, because we'll be selling stuff. And so yeah, so we'll be selling stuff, but we won't be doing any fighting, except for maybe for those that suddenly have anteed up everything and paid up. All right, we're caught up. Help us. But I don't think we will get involved just in inter-country disputes over there. It's going to be like it was back in the 1800s and stuff. It's like, they're fighting. Who cares? But yeah, so that's one of the possibilities. But recovery for us is going to be a lot easier than it will for them. And I can see a lot of their tariffs against us suddenly going away, trying to get us to help them rebuild. So as far as recovery goes, yeah, the only thing that I see as a problem is a shifting of transformers and stuff from Germany and, is it Norway? That makes them more to China. So it's having to get more transformers from China than what we were getting from Germany and Norway or wherever the other country that was still making transformers for substations and power plants. All right, so coming up here, where are we at here? All right, so Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is your favorite thing to can. Tuesday here on Gray Man Prepping is, when is bugging out worth the risk? And we're going to cover a lot of different aspects of that. Thursday night is the Midnight Ride. Friday on Camp Patton is a homestead update. I'm going to be I'm shooting some videos of the work I'm doing out here, and be showing those. When we talk about things that we're doing to make the homestead here better and more self-sustainable. Next Saturday for Survival Saturday, after your loved ones are gone, what are your plans? Yeah, that's going to be a sobering one, and it's one we're probably going to have to dance around with, so that the AI doesn't go, oh, you're talking about something that is offensive or whatever is yeah. So yeah, we'll be using code words and phrases next Saturday to get the point across. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming in and for sticking around. And I hope this gave you some insight to what's happening over in Europe right now, and give you the motivation to go do some digging and find out what's going on behind what the mainstream media is saying. There are several good European news organizations out there you can log on to and get better information than you would from our own NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, and those guys. And there are some other ones over there that are even a lot better than the BBC. So, all right, everyone, take care, and we'll see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound.
Hey, have a good night.